and welcome to FPL Mate, your best made for fantasy Premier League content for the 2022-23 season. My name is Dan, and we are back at it again for Gameweek 11. It is time to think about what we're going to do. It's a Friday deadline, which is always kind of crazy. I kind of like Friday deadlines because it means I get to stay in bed on a Saturday for as long as I want. Sometimes I just stay in bed on a Saturday until, like, I don't know, like 11 a.m. Like, why not? Like, what is the harm? What is the harm? But that's the great thing about Friday deadlines. Unfortunately, Friday deadlines are also kind of bad for some people because you feel like you're rushing around a little bit. I always feel like I'm rushing around a little bit. So I thought I'd start slightly earlier today, just in case anyone is kind of panicking a little bit with the slightly earlier than usual. This bit of hair is really annoying me. Can I just cut it off? I'm really tempted to cut it off, but no, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, guys, thank you for 159,000 subscribers, by the way. Got to hit 160,000 by the end of October. That'd be wicked if we could do that. And hopefully we're going to talk about as much things as we can possibly think of today. I think the first thing we probably all want to talk about is Reece James. And I imagine those of you guys who are going to be watching this stream start to finish, you're probably going to be sick and tired about talking about Reece James by the end of the stream, to be honest. But I put him in the thumbnail for a reason because I know he's going to be the main topic of conversation. So for those of you who are early today, I should probably say Reece James it's not looking good. It's really not looking good. He's going to be assessed to see just how severe the injury is, but it looks to me like it's bad. Like, there's been some reports saying that he's going to be out until the World Cup, So that's going to be a real problem. It's going to be a real problem if he is out all the way to the World Cup. And I think he's basically, at this point, just a sell. Like, I feel like everyone here should just be taking the L and doing the sell when it comes to Reece James. So he's got to go. Giandre Boats with the super chat straight away. Nunez or Jota? I think Nunez might get more and better chances, but Jota might get more minutes as he covers Diaz on the left. Thoughts on Firmino? On form, Firmino seems to be the guy, right? Let's have a look real quick at the prices of the three players, because I know that we've had some slight price drops for those Liverpool attackers. So let's try and compare them, I guess. So Firmino's still at 8 million. Let's see. Darwin is at 8.8. So he has dropped a little bit, but not quite enough. Jota's at 8.9. I honestly feel like Firmino could be the one because he is so much cheaper than some of the other guys. He really is kind of looking good. He really is looking kind of good. He's in fantastic form. I feel like he is arguably undroppable at this point. And I know, the great thing about Jota and Nunez is they can both play on the left. So actually Nunez can also play on the left-hand side. But if I'm totally honest, I'm actually thinking about Firmino. Councilor says, suggesting Firmino, who would have thought? I know. Starting at the beginning of the season, I would have been like, no way. Firmino, always overpriced, always overhyped, but he's in such good form. Like, you can see the last 5 game weeks, he's scored how many goals? What's that? Six goals. 6 goals and 3 assists in 5 game weeks. That's pretty mad. And the fixtures after this Man City game are actually pretty decent. West Ham, Nottingham Forest, Leeds, Southampton in a couple of weeks after that as well, just before the big international break. So I like Firmino. I like him a lot. I think I'm probably going to get him. But I feel like waiting until game week 12 might be the answer, to be honest, with Firmino. I think we can wait one more game week, to be fair. But to be honest, by the way, these stats, they're not even counting his Champions League performances as well. Absolute madness. Akil says, James and Andreas for Doherty and Trossard for -4, but save a transfer next game week. Do you need to do both of them this week? I like those transfers, to be fair. Is it worth a -4? Possibly. I feel like that is if you're going to play both Doherty and Trossard this week, then I feel like that could actually potentially be worth it. Like, I could actually technically do something very, very similar myself. I don't think I'm going to, but Reece James down to I said Webster the other day, so we'll put Webster in there, and it would be Andreas out for. Oh, can I have 4 Trossard? I can. Oh my word, it's exact. It's absolutely exact. But at the same time, how much does that help next game week? I don't know. I do really like this, though. I genuinely do really like this. It covers Mitrovic. The problem is, for me, it would mean that I'd have to play Patterson next week when I know Patterson's not available. So I'd be playing with 10 men. But at least I wouldn't be playing with Andreas, which is a good thing. Also, this does disrupt your balance of the team a little bit, I guess, because you're still going to... You're going to have to bench a big player pretty much every game week. So if your front 8 is looking kind of similar to this, it means you have to bench one of them. You have to bench one of Martinelli, Zaha, Maddison, Trossard, Bowen, Kane, Haaland, and Mitrovic during this time. Well, it's going to take another 2 transfers to escape this, basically. And I don't really know where the escape would be. So that's kind of the only downfall with that. That's always the downfall. If you're playing with 3 forwards right now, that's always the kind of problem at the moment, isn't it? So, yeah, one to consider, but I'm not sure. Not sure. Got another defender debate this game week. Think I'll go Webster too, to be honest. We can talk about defenders. I think that's probably the answer, isn't it, to everything that we're talking about right now. Look at some defenders. Doherty, I do like. I like him for 2 game weeks if we just look at Spurs' fixtures. Everton, Man United. But after that, I feel like there's going to be rotation involved. And you're probably going to want him for the likes of Bournemouth and Leeds. Those are kind of going to be the kind of fixtures you want Doherty for. But you can't have him there. Well, you mean, I'm not saying you can't have him there, but Emerson is going to be available from game week 13. And I have a feeling he comes straight back in. So... it's difficult. Should we get on? Fantasy Football Hub? Should we get on Hub for some defenders to have a look at some defenders? I'm going to actually go from game week 1 for defenders because it usually gives a slightly more balanced kind of view of what's going on. Got another super chat from Lucas. Says, "Hi Dan, would you go Greenwood for Wilson for -4? I have James, Mitra, and Zuma currently, and only 1 decent bench option this week. Well, I mean, James is the priority transfer out for you, Lucas, definitely. I'm not sure I would, to be honest. The next game is against Manchester United, then a game against Everton, then a game against Spurs. None of those 3 teams have conceded an insane amount of goals. So I don't know if it's the right time to jump on a Callum Wilson. I do still like Callum Wilson a lot. He's still one of my favourite forwards to go for right now, but I do wonder if the ship has sailed a little bit on that one. So I'm not sure. For a -4, I'm not sure about that one. I'll probably just do just a straight transfer, Reece James to someone else. Because remember, we do ideally want to go into next game week with a little bit of freedom, a little bit of flexibility. The more flexibility we can have next game week, because we already know your Man City players aren't going to be playing, your Arsenal players aren't going to be playing. And there's every chance that we get another problem, another suspension, another injury that kind of throws even more problems everywhere, which is going to be really, really frustrating for everyone, really. So, yeah, I would try and not go too hard. I considered, because I've got 2 free transfers, I considered using both of them this game week, but then I kind of stepped back and I kind of thought, I think I would prefer to have them for game week 12. And even if I don't have them for game week 12, having them for game week 13, if I can have 2, if this is very possible that I do this, but it's possible that I roll, a transfer into game week 13 so I can reset up with some Arsenal players and some Man City players, I can get Phil Foden in. Phil Foden is almost certainly coming into my team in game week 13, for example. It's just got to be done. It's just got to be done, really. Let's have a look at some defenders, guys. Oh, Lucas says, thanks, Dan. I already used my transfer to get Trent Alexander-Arnold out, unfortunately. Damn, man. Yeah, I would just use the next transfer to I guess remove Reece James. I feel like you have to. No AI team this week. No AI team this week. There's just because Friday deadlines, it's like everything's a bit more congested. I've been away this week as well. Spent a couple of days in Manchester for an event, and it was good to get away, to be fair. And even yesterday, the reason my upload yesterday was so late was just because I was hungover. Unfortunately, traveling back hungover, and then I've got to make a video. I was like, oh my word, I cannot deal. But I did deal, thankfully. Let's go per appearance. Let's go expected points. By the way, guys, we are on Fantasy Football Hub. As always, if you want to check out Fantasy Football Hub and all their tools, the link to their a discount is in the description. Those are you guys in the chat. It seems like a lot of you guys are looking at defenders right now. Defenders seem to be on the mouths of everyone, so we're going to have a decent look at them. I'm going to hide low minutes players here as well. Josh Fletcher says, I have Mitrovic, dodgy, James out for the count, Nico Williams potentially lost his place, and 0 transfers. Oh no. worth the free hit for game week 12. I mean, I have to say, I think if I'm completely honest, I would say that Nico Williams actually has a decent chance of playing in game week 12. And the reason because of that is because of the short turnaround between games. And we know that Aurier is not 100% yet. He's not got his full fitness yet. So there is going to be still a little bit of rotation between Serge Aurier and Nico Williams. And the most likely time for that rotation is going to be in those short, congested bursts of games, such as game week 12. So I actually think Nico Williams has got a decent chance of some points. And also, I feel like Mitrovic, yes, he's dodgy for this game week. But Josh, next game week, I think Mitrovic has got a decent chance of being back this game week. And I think he's like, I don't want to say 100% because nothing's ever 100%. But Mitrovic for next game week, I would say is like 90%. That's probably a little ambitious, but I'm like 90% sure he's going to start. So, and it's a decent game as well, or decent-ish. It's against Aston Villa, right? It's not such a bad game. So I would really consider keeping Mitrovic. So I don't think he's too dodgy. If you can roll with Reece James to just take a -4, get Reece James out for someone, and you can field 11 players this game week, then you'll have another free transfer to use next game week as well. I don't think you're going to need a free hit. I think free hit is kind of absolute worst case scenario for game week 12. If you really are completely mudded for game week 12, that's the only time I would really think about free hitting in 12. Reefer, yes, we should transfer out Reece James. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I just wanted to show you some different defenders that are potential options here. So what I've got on screen right now, guys, just to explain what you're seeing, is all FPL defenders listed, all of their data taken from this season. They are listed in order of their expected points. So not their actual points, their expected points, which is a really good metric that I really do like. And you can kind of get an idea from this list of which defenders so far this season have been looking likely to get FPL points. And interestingly, Ruben Dias comes up on top. Are you going to buy him ahead of Liverpool and a blank? Probably not. So we can pretty much discount Dias. You guys are going to have Cancelo already, and if you don't, then you're probably not going to buy him now either. Belindoji says, "Hey Dan, so James is indefinitely injured." Yeah, it looks like it. It could be weeks and weeks and weeks. There is some bad fears that it could be really bad. What about Mitrovic? Has there been any updates? I have Nico Williams and Emerson both shaky. So Mitrovic has trained, but I wish we had a clear. I read all the press conferences today. There is nothing clear on Mitrovic. We know he's trained, but not really very much. It's going to be touch and go for him this game week. If I had to guess, I would say that there's a good chance that he gets some minutes in terms of starting a game. The thing is with Mitrovic and the kind of player he is and the kind of guy he is, he's going to want to play. He's going to really want to play in this game. The other problem is, is he going to want to, kind of make sure he doesn't re-injure himself with view of the World Cup, like playing in the World Cup with Serbia. It's a pretty big deal, right? Oh, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Mitrovic, I just wish I had a clear answer on him, but I just don't. But I think he's really good for game week 12. I think he's going to be good for game week 12, but game week 11, it's tough. It's really tough. Let's go back to these defenders. So let's start ticking some players. Again, guys, this is in order. So the first 3 players are Dias, Cancelo, and Stones. You're not going to get any of those players. You're not going to get any of those players considering they blank next game week, right? By the way, Stones, my new best mate. Did anyone see the picture I posted on Instagram? Meeting John Stones. How mad is that? We've got Gabriel and Walker up here as well. So literally the first 5 players on this page are all City and Arsenal players. So they are the best defenders to go for right now. And yet you can't go for them. You can't go for them because they blank. It's terrible. So let's start ticking some players who don't play for those teams. So we've got Davies, Dyer, Saliba we can't go for, Webster, White we can't go for, Trippier, Zuma, Botman, Creswell, I guess. Reece James, obviously not. Emerson Royale is suspended. Koulibaly is available. Anderson is available. Fabian Schär, Dalot. So let's just... we've got a few players here. Let's roll with these as our potential Reece James replacements. You guys, so you saw it on Twitter. Dan Cross says, "Did you mention this 27-pointer?" Yeah, that's what the first thing I said to him is, do you know? Like, I just said to him, like, do you know, like, you are considered a legend in FPL history because of that 27-pointer where you scored twice? And he was like, "Oh, am I? I don't know." So I don't know, like if he was just like playing it off like, yeah, I can't really talk about FPL because of, you know, I can't be shown to be an FPL player. But at the same time, he did seem pretty oblivious and confused and almost taken aback, almost like kind of like, "Oh, that's pretty cool, thanks." So he's gone away, he's gone home with that information at least. All right, I'm just going to show these selected players. I do want to add a couple more. Thank you for the super sticker there, Mitrovic, Ravi. I appreciate that. I want to add a few more players. I do want to add Doherty to the mix. If I can... Oh, wait, I need to get rid of that. Oh, what have I done? Have I broken it? I feel it looks like I may have broken it. No, it's fixed. Okay. D-O-H. Where are you? E-R-T. There seems to be some problems. With Hub today. Oh, I think I've broken it. All right, well, we can go back. All right, let's just throw in some players that I like. I'm going to refresh, and then we're going to start again. I think the search function might be broken today, which is rather frustrating. Have I broken Fantasy Football Hub? I think I've broken Fantasy Football Hub. I'm so sorry. I'm going to check out these super chats in a second, guys. Don't worry. I've not forgotten. Right, that's not working. What if I put in Spurs? Right, that's better. There you are. So I want to tick Doherty. We said about Dyer already, didn't we? So we'll add him in. Who else did I want to throw in? I feel like I want to put in Azpilicueta as well. Wait, is it As? Am I spelling it wrong? Just put Chelsea in. No, I wasn't spelling it wrong. I want to put in Cucurella. I want to potentially put in Thiago Silva and Chilwell as well. I think maybe we can still consider some players. Yeah, Stones is still injured, sadly. Right, let's see this super chat from Base. Robin says, "What about Cucurella as a replacement for James?" We're going to have a look at him now, my friend. We're going to have a look at him. I think Zuma has recovered from his... Did he recover from his illness? I can't remember. I'll probably check that out. Check that one out. Right. So I've added those couple of players, and now we're going to look for the players who've been doing the best statistically, and we're going to add them all to the list, and we're going to find once and for all the best Reece James replacement. So we had Davies, we had Webster, Trippier. Zuma's probably not worth going for at this point, just in case he is unavailable. Botman, Creswell, Emerson Royale, no. Koulibaly, I guess we have to consider him. Let's go to there. Actually, let's put Lewis Dunk in as well. But I think I can eliminate him fairly quickly. Right. Now, we've got our list. We've got quite a decent amount of players here. But this is going to be... This is our big list of Reece James replacements. Or, you know, if you're a Trent Alexander-Arnold owner, maybe a Trent Alexander-Arnold replacement. But this is what I'm down to in terms of players that I considered. And it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot of players. Now, I'm going to eliminate a few players based on various technicalities, because I do like to make sure we're trying to condense our list of replacements as much as we physically can. I'm going to remove Lewis Dunk, because you can see from his stats that he's more expensive than Webster, but no better than Webster in terms of the stats. I think if you look more recently, Webster's doing much, much better than Dunk for bonus points, system points as well. So I'm going to remove Dunk because I just feel like Webster. If you're going to go for a Brighton defender, it's got to be Webster. I have looked up enough on this. I've spoken about that enough. I spoke about a decent amount on yesterday's video as well, so I won't go into it too much. But you can see on screen. The stats say it all. The stats say it all. Perisic's not making the list. I don't know. I worry about the rotation because obviously we've got to think about game week 12 as well. And we need a player who is fairly nailed on, and I don't think Perisic quite offers that nailed onness, maybe. And I think maybe Thiago Silva you can kind of put in a similar boat. Who's already been shown to be rotated. In fact, I worry in general about Chelsea rotation at the moment. So, does that eliminate Cucurella and Chilwell as well? Potentially. Cucurella's not even been doing that well statistically anyway, so I think there's good reason to remove him. Oh, Max Kilman's not a bad shout as well. I should have, maybe I could have included him. What's the latest on Mitrovic and James? James, no, not happening. He's injured. Mitrovic, we're not sure. It's a short answer. Right, so I'm actually going to eliminate the Chelsea, some of these Chelsea defenders. I think Koulibaly plays every game, so I'm going to keep him in. Shall I put Kilman in? Josh says, Dan, I love your hair, Dunk or Webster. You tell you what, you've paid me a compliment and I'll happily answer your question. Webster for me, my friend. Let's, I don't know if it's going to work, but let's try and throw in Kilman into the mix as well, but I have a feeling his underlying stats are not going to be very good. At least he's been playing. Okay, so Kilman is involved now. Yeah, not really taking any shots. In fact, he's the lowest above than Azpilicueta, who is kind of his. Let's go per start. Actually, let's go per start because per appearance does kind of mess it up a little bit. But if we go per start, there is not much data for a player like Doherty, but we know he's kind of has to play, right? If we go per start, that throws Azpilicueta up quite high, to be fair. Really high. He's top, out of all the players on screen, he's highest for key passes, joint with Trippier for key passes, joint with Trippier for big chances created. He's a lot cheaper than Trippier as well. Yeah, the problem is Azpilicueta going to play right back in a flat back four? Is he going to play right centre back? Is he going to be not playing at all because Ruben Loftus-Cheek maybe plays in right wing back? It's difficult, right? It's really difficult to say. But I kind of do like Azpilicueta as a bit of a punt. I actually do quite like that. Anderson from Palace, yeah, he's on the list. So I'm going to keep eliminating some players. So I'm going to take out Creswell because I look at... Hang on, let's just find West Ham's fixtures. They've got Liverpool up next. They've got Southampton and Liverpool, then Bournemouth, then Man United. If you look at on a 4-game week kind of period, that's not ideal. Both Liverpool and Man United away, but then at the same time, you've got Southampton and Bournemouth that look pretty good for a defender. For an attacker like Jarrod Bowen, I think these 4 fixtures are fine. But I'm not totally convinced. Is that worth eliminating him? Not necessarily. I kind of feel like I'm going to eliminate the Newcastle guys as well because, again, if we look at Newcastle's fixtures, next 3, we've got Man United away and Spurs away. The Everton at home is decent, but the Man United and Tottenham game, I'm not sure I like it. So I really want to cut this list down a little bit. Let's remove Cher, Botman. I think I'm going to remove Creswell as well. With Trippier, at least you have the potential for attacking returns. So, back to our list. Ben Davies is actually looking pretty good, but how nailed is he? Reasonably nailed? Probably reasonably nailed. He's been playing pretty much every game, hasn't he? I think Ben Davies is genuinely in for a shout. Him and Eric Dyer is 5.2 million. Seems slightly too expensive for me. Slightly too expensive for me. Hi, mate. Thoughts on Scamacca for Tony? Ooh. You know what I don't like? I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. Omri Yaron with the super chat here says, Dan the man already took out Trent Alexander-Arnold for Gahey and Tony for Kane. Oh my word. You're flying with those transfers. I have Cancelo, KDB, Haaland and Martinelli, James for who and with -4 this week or game week 12. I was playing KDB out to make room for Foden in 13-14. Oh, okay. Interesting. If you still have Reece James, you want to remove him. I think we go back to. I think we'll keep talking about defenders, and we'll keep trying to narrow down defenders to try and find the best options. But yeah, I think just the Reece James is the one transfer I'd make this week, and then just reassess. Start next game week. Terrific, thank you for the super chat. Hi Dan, start McAllister or Andreas playing a 3-4-3 with Haaland, Jesus, Mitra up front. It's pretty decent forward line. Saliba, Perisic and Trippier at the back. Yep, looking Saliba good for this game week, isn't he? I would start McAllister, I think. Because you never know when you're going to get a penalty. You never know. So I think, just play McAllister and pray for a penalty, basically. Right? Alex Petrov puts an interesting question here. What happens during the World Cup? Do we get infinite transfers? And the answer is yes. Yes, we do. It's essentially like a free wildcard that you have to play in. What is it? Game week 14 or something? No, not 14. 16? After 16. So for game week 17, you have unlimited transfers ahead of game week 17, which is pretty nice. Those of you guys still asking about Reece James, it is still looking very, very bad. He's going to be out for a while. It's going to be weeks. It's not looking good. I'm going to eliminate Eric Dyer. I think he's slightly too expensive, and I don't really trust him for attacking returns either, if I'm totally honest. So I'm going to remove Dyer. I think he's slightly too expensive for what he is. Next, can we eliminate anyone else? Man United players. Man United's fixtures aren't great, are they? Does that mean they're worth removing? Newcastle, Spurs and Chelsea. Yeah, that pretty much muds Dalot, doesn't it? So we'll remove Dalot. A lot of people I know kind of like Kilman, but how much do we trust? How much do we trust Wolves? I mean, they lost 3-0 last game week. They lost 2-0 the week before, 3-0 the game week before. In terms of a team that's supposed to be so solid defensively, they have fallen off a little bit. They're not looking so good defensively as they were previously. They're on a bit of a bad defensive form, so I think I'm going to have to eliminate Kilman as well. I've eliminated him. Omri says, and of course, keep up the great content. Thank you so much, Omri. I really do appreciate that. We are going to try and figure out, I would definitely say Reece James is the transfer. Oh, no, sorry. McAllister is the player you want to start out of those two, or out of Andreas and McAllister, and pray for a pen. I don't know if have you got Reece James? Are you looking for a Reece James replacement too? I think everyone is. Wolves with Collins, I trust. That's a good point, actually. That is a very good point. Very good point. That does change things. Does that mean I put Kilman back in? The problem is, in the price bracket of Kilman, we have Webster, Anderson, and Matt Doherty. And I think I prefer all three of those to Kilman. So depending on how much you want to spend, Kilman is like the fourth best choice at the 4.5 million mark. I mean, he's not even the fourth best because I'd prefer like Lewis Dunk. So he's probably like the fifth best realistically. Mark Gahey as well. I've not even spoken about Mark Gahey. Like, let's throw him in as well. Hang on, because I think he's got to be in for a shout as well. If you want that super cheap guy. His stats are not good, but he's so cheap. I think Collins has one more game suspension. Maybe Kilman is the one you want next game week. The problem is we're looking for now, aren't we? We've got to get in. We've got to get a replacement for Reece James now. It is Forest, yeah. It's difficult, right? Okay. I think we've narrowed this down to how many is that? 7 players or 8 players? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 players. I think these 8 are the best replacements for Reece James, Trent Alexander-Arnold, whoever. Now, which one you're going to go for is going to depend very much on you. So at the higher end of the spectrum, price-wise, we have the likes of Trippier and Koulibaly. Koulibaly, aerial threat, plays for a decent defence with some decent fixtures. Fairly nailed on. Pretty good. Trippier, not so good fixtures, but great underlying stats, taking shots on, creating chances. Less likely to keep a clean sheet, you would say. So Trippier is probably a better long-term shout than Koulibaly as well, because aside from the Man United and Spurs game for Trippier, it all looks pretty good for Newcastle. Unfortunately, the United and Spurs game come in the next 3. They're both away games as well, I believe. And it comes in a fairly congested period. So it's difficult. It's difficult to say. So there you go. I'm not going to tell you exactly which player to get, but if you want to get an expensive defender as your Reece James replacement, Trippier or Koulibaly are probably the ones to go for. Then we get into like the mid-range, which is, I guess, Davies and Azpilicueta. Not a lot of people talking about Davies. A little bit of a differential. If we look at the expected points, then Davies is actually out front. He's actually out front out of all of these players you see on screen. He looks good. Those of you guys are suggesting Leicester defenders, by the way. There's never a good time to pick a Leicester defender, I don't think. Well, I mean, I say that. If you're going to go for a Leicester defender, you probably should have gone for him in Gameweek 9. That was the time to get a Leicester defender. Now that ship has sailed, really. Now that they've got the Forest and the Bournemouth game out of the way. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I kind of like Ben Davies as a little bit of a differential. Because not many people... I'm guessing his ownership is super low. Like, really low. Yeah, 0.8%. But I also like Azpilicueta as a bit of a differential. So, I guess, in a way, the Davies and Azpilicueta punts are kind of a little bit, you know, quite a nice little differential there. Kind of like them. Maybe throw Doherty into that same conversation, potentially. Don't know. If you prefer Doherty to Davies. Obviously, he's cheaper. But Davies is more nailed on longer term. Chilwell, people asking about Chilwell and Cucurella. I'm really worried about the rotation again, because we're talking about the midweek game on Thursday on Gameweek 12. Gameweek 12 is a midweek game, which is just not ideal. Justin at 4.3 can't be awful. It's a good point. It's a good point. You can't do too much worse for 4.3 million. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen when you're spending that little money? Is Davies rotation risk with Longley? Maybe. I think Davies is preferred. Konate, no, I don't think we're going to go for any Liverpool players ahead of this game against Man City. That's 0 pointers are coming for Liverpool defenders this week. It's not looking good. Cresswell was on this list, but I've eliminated Cresswell. I've tried to narrow it down a little bit. I think my favourites, if I had to pick my favourite players on this list, so I'm just going to untick my non-favourites. So Davies probably would not be one of my favourites. I like Webster, I like Azpilicueta. For this game week, I would probably say Trippier isn't one of my favourites. But he comes back into favour next game week. So next game week, I'd be saying again, yeah, maybe we go for Trippier. But for this game week, I mean, to be fair... No, we'll leave Trippier in. Koulibaly is probably not going to be one of my favourites. Not quite exciting enough. Gahey, yes, he's super cheap. Obviously, the best player, in my opinion, for 4.3 million. I'm sure a lot of you guys would agree with that. Best 4.3 million defender. It's not very exciting, though, is it? And finally, we've got Doherty here, who I'm not sure is one of my favourites, if I'm honest, because I feel like he's a transfer back out waiting to happen. Can we get some likes on the video, by the way, guys? If you're watching, if you wouldn't mind liking the video, I would massively, massively appreciate that. And of course, subscribe if you're new around here as well. That would be pretty awesome. DeVay says, should I bench Mitro? If you've got someone on your bench that you think is a decent player, and I don't mean an Andreas, I don't even really mean a Mark Gahey. I mean more like a, I don't know, who could you possibly have on the bench? Like if you've got like an Anderson or a Webster or a Lewis Dunk or someone like that on the bench, then I would play them ahead of Mitrovic, I think, at this point. But aside from that, if you've just got pretty much Dross on the bench, I would just play Mitrovic and see what happens. Did I get a haircut? Yes, I did. I got a cheeky little haircut before the event I went to a couple of days ago. So yeah, I've narrowed this down as much as I possibly can. Thanks for the likes and the subs, by the way, guys. I really do appreciate that. My 4 favourite defensive replacement defenders to buy right now would be Webster, Azpilicueta, Trippier, and Anderson. Those 4. That is where I would be going right now. To be honest, I like Webster quite a lot. I feel like I mean I already gassed him up enough this week, but I'll keep doing it because I think he's the one. I think Webster is the one. I'm looking forward to watching him in action tonight. You get to see him nice and early in action, get it out the way. Reckon you make an argument for an Everton defender, to be honest? Oh, it's difficult. It's difficult. So listen. Let's find, actually, we'll refresh this page first and foremost. Let's have a look at teams. I know Everton have been doing quite well defensively, but if we look at the expected goals conceded table, go per appearance. Let's put the best ones at the top and the worst ones at the bottom. Everton, although they are keeping clean sheets, their expected goals conceded is reasonably high. It's the same as Southampton. It's the same as Bournemouth. And, for example, with Southampton, would you consider a Southampton defender? Your answer is probably going to be no. So why is it any different with Everton? Maybe because they've got a better goalkeeper. Maybe that's the argument. But I don't know if there's like a real strong argument there. Like, you could go for an Everton defender, but are we really picking them over the likes of the players you see on the screen here? For me, no. For me, no. Yeah, you can buy Firmino if you want as well if you want. Actually, nah. One more game week before Firmino. One more game week before Firmino. Need some spicy picks down. The spicy ones that are on the defensive selections, the spicy ones are Davies and Azpilicueta and possibly Webster. I think they're your spicy boys because a lot of people are not going to go for Webster. They're going to default to Dunk. And I've seen a lot of people defaulting to Dunk on Twitter and in video comments and stuff. But Webster's underlying stats are just really looking pretty decent, to be fair. Like, you can see, like, here, like, he's, like, top. Almost. Davies is slightly higher. But he's like really high up on expected points. Really high up. 3.75 expected points per start is really, really nice. But anyway, by the way, looking back at the defences, Brighton find themselves fifth best for XGC. Or actually, it's technically joint fourth. They're joint with Spurs. So Brighton are as good of a defence as Spurs. I don't know if that's going to slightly change under new management, to be honest, but I feel like they defended quite well against Spurs. Not too bad. Liverpool is obviously a different situation, conceding 3. But that's Liverpool. And they've got much better fixtures now than Liverpool and Spurs. Much better fixtures, which is awesome to see. And I think they'll do well against Brentford. I hope they will anyway. Is Webster any chance of minutes risk? I don't think so, no. He started every game. This season. The only reason you can see an 8 appearances on here is because Brighton have actually only played 8 games. By the way, guys, we've got to look forward. Surely we're going to have some news of the Brighton double game week soon. That's going to come at some point, right? Show Team Gang has arrived already. You're a bit early today, Show Team Gang. A little bit early. I mean, fair play. We welcome all. We troll some, but we welcome all. Yeah. So, Brighton seems to be the place to go, really. Webster is, for me, the most sensible pick of this list. But I kind of like Azpilicueta as a bit of a differential. Daniel Southgate says, help me play Gahey or Andreas. I'd probably play Gahey, to be honest. We want a prank again? I haven't thought of a prank. Like, to be honest, the Show Team Gang, there are a few of them here, but they're not going to arrive in their droves until later on in the stream. So if you guys have got any suggestions of what kind of pranks we can play on the show, I know this is really lazy of me. I haven't prepared. If you've got a suggestion of a prank we can play on the Show Team Gang, stick it in the chat. I'll keep an eye out, and we'll do a prank on them. But those of you guys who are early, I can tell you that what I'm going to be doing is, and I'm going to say it audibly and not do it on screen, because I know also that there will be people who don't even watch this with volume. They just want me to put my team on screen so they can take a quick screenshot and move on. But yeah, it's going to be Reece James to Webster. I'm very tempted to do Reece James to Azpilicueta, but it's but Webster, I've still got my eye on. Webster very, very closely. I'm not going to. I feel like I should probably not divert from that. Potentially showing the team on the wrong monitor. Oh, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Daniel Abe says ranked 5 mil going Trossard captain. That's one way to stay ranked 5 mil. Tell them Mitro is fit into captain. Oh, no, I don't want to lie. Like, I don't want to just actively give bad advice on purpose. That seems like too mean. I think that's a step too far. I'm not going to tell him to like Reece James is fit or to triple captain a player that's not good. How come you prefer Webster over Anderson? Webster's got better fixture, better underlying stats, plays for the better defence. So there's a decent amount of reasons. Show them a bad team. Should I show like? I don't want to give bad information. Maybe I'll show a team. Should I show like Mrs. FPL Mate's team? I'll have to try and. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to do that. Show a team with all Doritos. That would be pretty funny. Oh, you know what? I'm with a bit of planning, I think I could actually come up with some very good pranks. So I tell you what, next deadline's on Tuesday, right? If you guys are joining me for the Tuesday deadline, I'll come up with an incredible prank. I can do that one for you. I will do an incredible prank on Tuesday. I've got ideas racing round. But yeah, I can't. The Doritos one I like. The showing Mrs. FPL Mate's team I like as well, but both of those I'd have to have prepared, which I haven't. Prank with closing the live sooner because you are watching the Brighton game live. Maybe we could do something like that. I don't want to end the stream though, guys. I like chatting to you. Unless we move the stream over to Twitch or something. So they're like, anyone turning up on this channel will be just completely lost. No, I probably just won't show my team full stop, to be honest. Could just tell the truth and say, you know, I'll tell you what I'm doing now, you know. It's gonna be Webster. But I just won't put it on screen. Have 10 players fixed. Mitro, Andreas, Justin, Patterson. Okay. The others sell Patterson to someone and play them, or play Andreas/Justin. Ooh. I mean, you could potentially play Justin. You've got 1 million in the bank. I think I would upgrade Patterson, and I'd upgrade him to Webster. That's what I'd do, Anurag. I think I'd upgrade Patterson to Webster. I like that. And that helps you out next game week as well. Helps you out a lot with the Man City and the whatever. Show Mrs. FPL. I can't, because I have to log out of my account and log back into my... Oh, did I miss a super chat? Oh, I did. Sorry, Mr. President. KDB and James out. Who do I bring in? Oh, why do you have to remove KDB? Is he injured? Have I missed a press conference? No, he's fine. No, don't remove KDB. Keep him. Just remove James. And replace him with one of the players on screen here. Replace him with one of these guys. That's what I do. Straight swap. Easy. Very easy. Salem. Hello, Dan. What should I do with my 2 free transfers? 0.8 in the bank. My team is Guaita, Cancelo, Trippier, James, Mings, Nico Williams, Madison, Zaha, Foden, Martinelli, Andreas, Haaland, Kane, and Mitro. So... Reece James is easy. Remove Reece James. Downgrade Reece James to someone, again, same bit of advice. Change Reece James to someone you see on your screen right now. These are the guys. These are the guys. These are the boys. You've missed a lot of duper chats, have I? I mean, I'm not fully sure what a duper chat is, but let's go back and see if I've missed any of the duper chats. Oh, I have missed another one as well. I do apologise. Pure Av says, what do you think about Perisic? I'm worried about his minutes. Especially in Game Week 12, where you're going to need him the most. Game Week 12 is the week that we all need to make sure we can try and field a full 11. It's going to be difficult. But Perisic does not help that at all. Let's prepare a prank. What I'll do, this is a pretty bad one, but let's just everyone, I just want everyone to be aware, whatever you're seeing on my screen right now, this is not my real team. So we're gonna bench, like, surely if I put Haaland like last on the bench, it's gonna be obvious that this is Cap. So if I just do that and that, then surely everyone knows that's Cap. But I just do need to make sure. What I'll have to do is just make sure I'm doing my transfers on my phone and make sure my team is correct on my phone, and to not press save team by accident, because if that happens, then we are in big mud. Like, surely everyone knows that's, like, everyone with a brain knows that that's not my real team, right? Everyone with a brain. So it will only trick the people who are literally, brain dead and just want to copy a team, right? How long more for the deadline? We've got 40 minutes, 40 minutes, 42 minutes. Ellie Echo says Captain Skamaka. Haaland, De Bruyne, or Martinelli? It's Haaland. Should we do a captaincy poll? All right, let's do a captaincy poll. Right. Obviously, Haaland is going to be the main player in the captaincy poll. Who else are you guys considering? Who else are you guys considering for captaincy? Put who you're considering captaining in the chat, and then we'll put them all in a poll alongside Haaland, and then we'll watch as Haaland gets 95%. Do a Haaland injured prank? You know, this is... I mean, maybe is there a way of... I'd have to prepare. I'll make some graphics. And we'll do something. We'll do an injured prank next game week. Just make sure you've got notifications on for Tuesday stream. Thank you guys throwing in some other captaincy choices in the chat, by the way. We've seen Kane's and Son's in here primarily, it looks like. Kane, Son, and Zaha. Kane is the main one. And I guess it's between Son and Zaha for the third, and then we'll do an other. Nikhil says Trent Alexander-Arnold to Anderson, Tony, or Firmino. Oh, sorry. I think I would keep Tony for this game week. Trent Alexander-Arnold to Anderson is fine, though. I like it. I would prefer Trent Alexander-Arnold to Webster. If you're going one or the other, I'd rather go Trent to Webster. And then Tony to Firmino. I think I would just wait one more game week. Right, so we're saying Kane, Captain Kane or Haaland. I'm going to suggest Haaland every time. But yeah, Kane. It's pretty much just Kane. Kane and Son. Should we put Zaha in there as well? No one has both Kane and Son. So I'll tell you what I'll do. As I've got an idea. For the poll, we'll do... Now, people aren't actually going to captain Zaha, are they? They're not actually going to do it, surely. I'm just typing in this. By the time my voice reaches you, the poll might even be there already. But who's your Game Week 11 captain? Haaland. Haaland, Kane. Would I play Dunk over Mitrovic? I think I would, yeah. Haaland, Kane. Salah? Let's put Kane / Son in one. Zaha or Salah? To be fair, quite a few people suggested Zaha. Alright, fine. Okay, the options are, get your votes in, guys. Who's your Game Week 11 captain? Haaland, Kane / Son, Zaha, or other? Who is going to be your captain? And I know it's going to be a Haaland landslide, but it'd be interesting to see who second place is, I guess. Get those votes in now. We'll end it at like, I don't know, like 1,000 votes or something. I guess something like that. Belinda Jeet says, hey Dan, in preparation for Game Week 12, I have Martinelli, Kevin De Bruyne. I guess, wait, is KSB meant to be KDB? But anyway, Martinelli, KDB, Haaland, and Cancelo. KDB to Son, Maddison Trossard, and yes, Ronaldo transfer. Maddison to Trossard seems really luxury. Do you need to do any of those moves now? I guess, to be fair, KDB, you could do KDB to Son. You could do that. If you literally, you've got two transfers to use, you have to use one of them. Going KDB to Son one game week early is not the worst idea in the world. So maybe I would do that. But if you only have one transfer, I would just roll. So maybe kind of depends what your kind of situation is, Baliandoshi. Maybe KDB to Son if you have to use a transfer. Is there anything else you can do? Can you upgrade a 4 million defender potentially to like a Webster or an Anderson or something like that? That's another option for you. Alex Marmon says, who would you start in goal out of Ward and Pope? It's Pope, really. It's Pope. You know, at least you know you're going to get some save points with Pope. Do a vice captain poll. I don't really think it matters about vice captaincy. Vishal says, here on your channel when you had 10k. Been busy this... Wait, you were here on this channel when I had 10,000 subscribers? Nice one, man. Been busy this season, so not much online. Glad to see you. Good, mate. You deserve it. Happy for you. Also, frig off show team gang. That's it, Vishal. That's it, man. Yeah, that's crazy. You've been here for like over 2 years then, basically. Which is pretty much the entire duration of this YouTube channel. Mad. But I appreciate that, man. Base Robin says, who would you play Andreas over Gahey? Probably not. I'd probably play Gahey over Andreas. Belinda Cheat says, it's for transfers in Game Week 12. Ah, I got you. In that case, yeah, next game week, KDB to Son. Looks pretty good to me, and bench the rest. Assuming you can. Yeah, I like it. Of course, we'll be reassessing a lot come the next deadline. You know, things change very quickly in FPL and in football. By the way, mad to see in the poll so far. We've got 990 votes so far, so get those votes in, guys. Haaland is only at 76%. That's lower than I thought it would be. It's lower than, like, you know, we did obviously the experts video, the 100 experts video, and Haaland was at, what was he at? 92%, I believe, among experts. Kane and Son at 15%. That's pretty high. I don't hate the Kane and Son captaincy. I just look at Liverpool right now. I look at the injuries they have. I look at the form they have, and I feel like you go form over fixture on that one. Haaland obviously rested for the midweek game, the Champions League game as well, which was nice. Whereas Liverpool had to pretty much play full strength. Yeah. It's Haaland for me. And also, City have a week's rest. So they have no obligation to rotate, really. They have a week's rest after. Whereas Liverpool have to play midweek. You know, same sort of situation with Kane and Son. They had to play midweek, and they got to play again midweek. Haaland rested, and then, free midweek slot. 4% on Zaha. That's mad. Would you consider Tsimikas? No, because I believe Robertson is potentially back this week. Like, he's back in the squad, so is he going to be starting? Quite possibly. So, no, I would not be considering Tsimikas at all, because Robertson's going to be back. -4 for Webster. Not sure. It depends what the rest of your team is saying, to be honest, but probably not. Jar says, or is it Jar or Jar? Let's say Jar. Played 2 off Webster, Thiago Silva, Trippier, and Guehi. So straight away, you're probably benching Guehi, right? I would be tempted to play Webster over Trippier, but it's the. To be fair, I'd be very tempted to play a Webster over Trippier. I think Thiago Silva you probably play, just because Aston Villa don't have an attack. So go Thiago Silva, and then bench Guehi. So then you're basically between Webster and Trippier. It depends how risk averse you are. If you want to play things safe, then Trippier. If you want to take a little bit of a punt, maybe a little bit of a risk, then I do actually genuinely like Webster quite a lot. John C says play. Oh, hang on, where is it? Play Tony or Mitro, buy Webster or Dunk, and why? Okay, buy Webster because he's 0.1 million cheaper and he takes more shots on per game. He creates more per game, and he what else? He does better for bonus points as well. Bonus point system per game, particularly more recently. He's looking really good, and he's nailed on. So there you go. There's your argument for Webster over Dunk. Play Tony or Mitro. I guess the answer is Tony because you know he's guaranteed to start. And even if Mitro does start against Bournemouth, there's no guarantee he gets anything from that game. Bournemouth have been pretty decent, like pretty solid recently, to be fair. So yeah, I would play Tony and I would buy Webster. Boom, done. Football Highlight says Pope to Guaita / Kepa and Sofal to Guehi / Webster. I like those moves. I mean, Pope, it seems a little bit luxurious. Like, the Pope transfer seems a little bit luxury. Sofal to Webster, I like. Saint-Maximin to Trossard. Ooh. I kind of like that. I like Saint-Maximin to Trossard, and I like Sofal to Webster. I think Pope to Guaita / Kepa seems a little bit luxury. Oh, you've got Reece James as well? Oh, in that case, Reece James to Webster. Reece James to Webster and Saint-Maximin to Trossard. Assuming that gives you a full 11, I think that's pretty good. Haaland captain managers will pull away if he hauls. I mean, I'm... You know what? If less people are captaining Haaland this week, then it's good for me. Dan, getting Robertson next game week looks brilliant, right? Reefer, I genuinely am thinking about it. I genuinely am considering it. I'm not going to commit to anything now, but it's definitely one of the moves I've been contemplating. Definitely. Obviously, I'm going to... Now that I've already got 0.8 in the bank, I'm going to be downgrading James to Webster as well. It's going to be even it's going to be even like more money in the bank. So I'll have quite a lot of money to play around with next game week. For game week 12, I have 2 free transfers and a load of money in the bank. So it's going to be hopefully put me in a really, really nice situation. Hopefully. I'll probably upgrade Patterson. I'm not sure who to. I think but Patterson to Robertson is on the agenda. It's on the agenda. Possibly. We'll see. We'll see. I might even go back in on Trippier, to be honest. Just take the L on that one. You know, go Patterson to Trippier. Shy Joe says Tony or Andreas. I play Tony. VJ says transfer Salah to Son for -4. I don't think so. I think I keep Salah. If it's a -4, then I don't think so. There's no bench list today. Sorry, Harry. I didn't think we'd really need one because there's so many. The 4 million defenders are mudded, and I know everyone's got one of them. We've got Reece James injured. We've got Mitrovic potentially injured. The only real reason we'd have a bench list is to decide who you would play ahead of Mitrovic, really. And then Andreas. People, to be fair, people are talking about playing Andreas just because he scored last game week, but nah, you'd still bench Andreas ideally, wouldn't you? Anna, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. I really do appreciate it. Show some emojis. Dazzle says, hi Dan, forgot deadline day was tonight. No way. Is James Defo out? Yeah. So anyone who's just joining, Reece James is finito. It's unfortunate. It's not he's not gonna be playing this game week. He needs to be assessed, but it's not looking positive. It's likely that he's gonna be out for several weeks. And considering next game week, in the next week, there's basically, 3 game weeks within the next week or so. So when you kind of consider that, it's like, even if he is out just for 1 week, then he's still got to sell him, really, haven't you? Damn. Few show seam gang in the chat. I'm sorry, I'm not really. I mean, I can show you a couple of seams. I've not really got very many interesting seams at the moment, unfortunately. Start Kilman or Webster? I go for Webster. Dallo or -4 for Webster? Wait. I actually want to say Dallo. I would say Dallo. If it's going to mean taking a -4 to get Webster, I don't think I would do it, to be honest. People are asking for a bench list. I haven't made one. Should we try and make one really quickly? Let's start with these super chats, then we'll try and make a really quick bench list. Anna says James to Webster or Anderson. Webster. It's Webster for me. I mean, that's what I'm doing. But I also do already have Anderson. But yeah, Webster for me. Football Highlights says, should I take a -4 for Sam Maximan to Zaha? Ooh, James to Webster. Then I don't think you need to make 3 transfers this game week, really. You never know. So far could start. James to Webster, you would definitely do. Sam Maximan to Zaha is optional. So far to Gahey is kind of getting luxury. Like, surely you've got something. Even if you've got like an Andreas on the bench to cover or something like that, it's probably better than a -4. Or a Mitrovic for a 1-pointer is, again, probably better than a -4. So, no, don't like the -4. If you're looking for validation that you should take a -4, I'm not going to give it, unfortunately. But I do appreciate the super chats regardless. Sam Maximan to Zaha looks like a reasonably decent move, though, to be fair. I kind of like it. Right. Let's... we've got more super chats. We've got super chats flying. Salem says, Davies or Webster? Webster's probably a safe bet. It's kind of up to you. If you like the look of Davies, then you can go for him. Right, can I find the bench list? Yes, right, this is last week's bench list. Let's copy that. Okay, guys, let's let's put Mitrovic as your first man on the bench list. And then I guess we'll go from there. So who would I play above Mitrovic? Anderson and probably Gahey. Who would I not play above Mitrovic? Andreas, I guess. Let's put in Webster. I like him as well. Super chat from how do I say that? Lawlin Grant says, should I take a -4 and have a full 11 next game week or not? I don't think you need to take a -4 now to get a full 11 next game week, because you never know. The player you bring in this game week might get injured or something like that, or not look good, or everything goes tragically wrong. So yeah, in order to play a full 11 next game week, I would try and leave that decision for next game week, basically. I wouldn't do it this week, no. If you've got something, looking reasonably good this week, then there's no need to make any kind of snapshot decisions, I guess. Bed Story says, James, KDB, Mitro to Webster, Trossard, Kane from -4. Worth it? Probably not. Or is it? Oh, I don't mind that. I mean, you give yourself you give yourself 3 players who are guaranteed to play and who all have fixtures in Game Week 12. You know what, Ben? I'm going to say yes. I'm actually going to say yes. It's not often I say yes to a -4, but that one I kind of like. Let's go for it, Ben. Let's do it. Let's see how that works. I like it. Football Highlight says, Zaha or Trossard? Probably Zaha. Would you back Webster if you had Tony? Yeah, I would. I'd play both. Hey, Dan, love the channel. Would you use a wildcard next week if you haven't used it yet? Probably not next game week. I'd probably use it in Game Week 13. Or would I use it in Game Week 12? I'd use it in Game Week 12, yeah. I'd try and to be fair, I'd try and use it as soon as possible, because we're running out of weeks before it kind of becomes pointless in a way. Running out of power. Rune, thank you for the super sticker. Why not Kilman? I just don't really like Kilman as a pick. I don't really like Wolves' defence that much. They've conceded, 8 goals in the last 3 games? It's not good. Particularly before they've even got a manager in. Leo is showing me his team. Pope, Mings, Patterson, Cancelo, Trippier, Perisic, Martinelli, Zaha, Madison, Bowen, Andreas, Mitro, Hall and Kane. I have 2 free transfers. No money left. What should I do? I would do... You have no money. Oh. I actually have no clue, and I can't understand why you put in a super chat to ask. I have no idea what I would do. That's a really, really tricky one. Maybe down... Would I remove Perisic? Feels luxury. I really don't know, mate. That's a really dodgy situation. Maybe like luxury goalkeeper transfer, Pope to Guaita or Pope to Kepa. Maybe Pope to Kepa for a bit of fun. Maybe do that. Or Perisic to Webster. I'd do one of them. Pope to... I'll suggest Guaita because it's more sensible. Pope to Guaita or Perisic to Webster. Those are the 2 moves I would make. Is De Silva bottom of the bench list? I guess he is. We do need to add some more players to the bench list, don't we? Would you bring in Xhaka instead of Andreas? Definitely not. He doesn't even play in Game Week 12. Perisic on the bench list. Oh, Zachariah wants a little bit of the blackcurrant squash. Cheers, Zachariah, for the blackcurrant squash gang. What's up? I appreciate all members of the blackcurrant squash gang. I prefer them to the show team gang, if I'm honest. I prefer the blackcurrant squash gang. Right. I'm going to sneak in Trippier underneath Webster. People ask about like Cancelo. I guess because he's playing Liverpool. I'll just play Cancelo no matter what. Like, I don't think that's ever in doubt. let's keep throwing some players in here. Dallo. Doherty. Oh, I don't know. Rune, thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Throw in some blackcurrant squash emojis. We got a few people. Count Sealor, Simon, throwing in those blackcurrant squash emojis. I'm capping Son, being back and forth, trusting my gut now. Fair play. Fair play. Jordan says, hey Dan, love the videos, winning my mini league since I started watching. Don't know who to bench out Solly March and Trip and Gahey. You bench Solly March probably. Do people have that? Do we have like him? Almiron? Do we put Almiron? Castan. I think I would like put like Castan and Justin down here under Mitrovic. I would risk Mitrovic ahead of. I'd risk a Mitrovic 1 pointer because I know that Justin and Castagna is very likely that they get 1 pointers too. Nico Williams. I put him even lower. But no, to be fair, I put him below Andreas. Where else should I be going here? I don't know. That's where the bench list is so far. Mings, where would I put Mings? He plays like Chelsea, right? So that's not great. I prefer Mitrovic to Mings. I feel like I actually would put Mings down here. Leo says, use both free transfers or save last one for Game Week 12. I would save it, Leo, because your team is looking good right now. So I don't think you need to use two. You don't even need to use one transfer, really. So I'd definitely only use one. Alex says, thoughts on this and no transfers or money left for next game week. Webster, Cancelo, Trips, Nico. Vestergaard. Nico's a bit dodgy. Vestergaard's very dodgy. Zaha, KDB, Son, Maddis, Andreas, Haaland. I would be selling. I would be selling KDB next game week. I think, because you don't need 3 premiums. You're only ever going to captain Haaland. KDB seems like a bit of a waste of money, especially when you're kind of stuck with players like Nico Williams and Vestergaard. But in general, your team looks pretty good. You've got Mitrovic there on your bench as well to come in. I would play Mitrovic ahead of Nico Williams. That's what I would do. And I wouldn't make any transfers, obviously. If you're going to be taking minuses, it's not really worth it. It's not really worth it. All right, a few people asking about Perisic and Doherty, so I guess we put them in. Fixtures against Everton, right? So it's a decent fixture. Let's put them reasonably high for this game week anyway. Do we put them above Webster? Maybe. They're kind of in and around the same area. Maybe like that. I think you play them, don't you? If you have them, you play them. Bailey is still probably for the bench, isn't he? Bailey is in Andreas territory. In fact, Bailey is like down there, right? Dunk can go. Dunk can go there. So actually, that's the thing. Trippier, like, I don't hate Trippier. Oh crap! Mrs. FPL Mate has not made a transfers and is asking me what to do. All right, I'm about to read the live texts from Mrs. FPL Mate. We'll count this as a super chat. She can pay me in loyalty. All right. Daniel Darling, I need to do my team, don't I? It's a tough one because I think my team is fairly solid. And then she showed me her scores from last game week for some reason instead of her team for this game week. Show me your team this week, please. Not last week's scores. I will update as that progresses. Tendai says, Aubameyang punt. It's not for me. It's not for me personally, but if you fancy it, then there we go. That's the transfer page. No. That's the transfers page. Click on pick team. Is it called pick team in the app? I think it's called pick team, isn't it? God, some people, you can't teach them anything. There's no helping some people. Billings. Do people have Billings? Oh, all right. We finally got the pick team selection page. She's got 1 free transfer. Can I show you her team? Can you see that? Probably not very well. So she needs to use 1 transfer, really. Should I suggest selling Mings? All right, this is Mrs. FPL Mate's team. Trippier, Cancelo. Pope, Trippier, Cancelo, Perisic, Saliba, Mings, Bernardo, Martinelli, Maddison, Haaland, and Kane. And then on the bench, you've got Andreas, Bailey, and Mitrovic. She's got 2 free transfers. I don't know what I would do there. I guess I'd sell Bernardo. Can she afford Bernardo to Bowen? How much has you got in the bank? Can you... or to Zaha. Can you afford Bernardo to either Bowen or Zaha? If so, do that. Also, play Andreas ahead of Mings. And that's all the advice she's getting because it's 15 minutes till deadline. I'm glad she's remembered deadline, to be honest. It's impressive. Tell her to do Saliba to Webster. Oh, Saliba to Webster actually also works, doesn't it? Actually, to be fair, I feel like if you have Saliba at this point, you probably hold him over the blank? Potentially. Remember to do my team. Yeah, let me do my team now as well before I forget. Because I already know what I'm doing. So, yeah. For the show team gang, I want to be very clear. Show team gang, this is not what I'm doing. What I'm actually doing is I'm selling Reece James right now as we speak. I'm going to say it very quietly. I'm going to sell Reece James and I'm going to put in Webster. I think if I put in Webster, that would be pretty good. So what I'm going to do is sell Reece James. I'm going to put in Webster. And I'm going to... I mean, if you've been watching this stream for a while, you probably already know this already, to be fair. So yeah, that's leaving me with 1 transfer to roll into next game week. And also 2.3 million in the bank where I can use that next game week to sort, hopefully. I don't know. We'll see what we'll do over next week. We've got 2 free transfers, 2.3 in the bank. I think that will work really, really well. So yeah, let's just do that transfer. Reece James out, Webster in, confirm team, done on my mobile phone, just done that there. And this is going to be my team set. It's going to be Pope in goal. In defence, it's going to be Webster, Cancelo, and Anderson. In midfield, Maddison, Bowen, Martinelli, and Zaha. And up front, Kane, vice captain, Haaland, captain, and Mitrovic as well. So that's going to be my team. So hopefully that's cleared that up. That's exactly what I'm doing with my team. So we don't need to talk about it anymore because you know now. So, sound. Was the sound low? What happened? Was everything all right there? You guys heard what I said, right? No sound. Or was I muted? No, I don't think I was muted. No, I wasn't muted. I know I'm muted because my microphone light is there and I can see the audio feedback. And I think there was a little bit of audio feedback. I think I might have just been talking quietly. I don't know. Maybe you made out some of it. Anyway, sound is fine. All right, good. All right, so you all heard what I'm doing with my team. You all know exactly. If you turn the volume up, maybe you know exactly what I was doing with my team. So there we go. You don't. It's the show team gang. You've got what you wanted. You got what you wanted. You got what you wanted. Professional lip readers. Great transfer. Said great lip readers. Anyway, let's catch up with some super chats because I was trolling around a little bit. Salah, thank you for the super sticker. Peter Wilk says, Chilwell, Cucurella or Azpilicueta for James. I like Azpilicueta the most out of those 3. It looks pretty nice. It looks pretty nice. Let's go back to, because I know a few of you guys are probably joining this stream reasonably late, so we're trying to give you an idea of what we've been speaking about. I know the main thing right now is going to be Reece James replacements, right? So everything you see on screen right now is the best, in my opinion, the best replacements, the best defenders to go for right now. So I would, if you're going for a defender right now, these are the players. These are the players. These are the defensive replacements. So go for these. Base Robin says just qualified for FUT Champs and packed road to knock out Wan-Bissaka. Nice. By the way, you playing it? Because I've been away this week, I haven't had a chance to qualify. So I've played 5 qualifiers so far and won 5. So I'm guaranteed qualification now. In fact, you can just click end qualification. So I could just start playing champs. I'm gonna see what Mrs. FPL Mate is up to tonight. I might actually. I've got loads of packs. I might do a little mini pack opening on Twitch after this. We'll see. I'll let you know. We'll decide in like a minute. I'll go get my Xbox and bring it upstairs. Potentially, we can open some packs because we've got the new cards, haven't we? But anyway, probably should focus. Can you show the AI team? Yeah. Where is the AI team? It's like I can show you the default AI team. So this is apparently the best Gameweek 11 team. There are some questionable ones in there. Some very questionable ones. The best wildcard team is this. Ward, Romero, Justin, Thiago Silva, Son, Zaha, Trossard, Salah, Kane, Mitrovic, and Wilson. With Alisson, Konsa, Samare. It's random. Is he like 4.3 million or something? Is that why he's gone in there? And Nico Williams. There you go. Baby Jesus as captain? Nah, stick with Haaland, man. Stick with Haaland. Move of Mike says James, Andreas, Al, Dardy, Trossard in. 3-5-2 with Mitro bench, or just James to Doherty and play Andreas, saving 1 free transfer. They're good moves. You know, you're clearly improving your team. You're removing a player who's not going to play and a player who's probably going to score 2 points and replacing them with 2 decent options. So, yeah, I like it. I like it, Mike. I like it. And it means you won't have to play Andreas next game week either. It's pretty decent. The wildcard actually looks great. You guys like this team? Will James play today? Nah, well, no one's. Well, he won't play today. He wouldn't play today anyway. But he's not. No, Reece James is very much out. Mitrovic. We don't really know what the situation is still, but he should be 100% back. Not 100%, but very, very like 90% back next game week. But this game week is going to be a bit touch and go. We don't really know for sure. Reece James is mud. So if you're looking for a Reece James replacement, we've spoken about it a little bit already, but these are the players, the 8 players I've identified as probably your best Reece James replacements. And depending on your budget, what kind of other players you have, you know, you probably don't want to double up on certain defenses, how you set up for next game week as well. These are going to be your replacements, in my opinion. It's got to be one of these. There are other options, of course, as well. These are just my favourites. There we go. People getting caught out by some Twitter fake news already by the looks of things. Latest on Haaland's injury, there's no injury. He was just fatigued, so he was rested in the midweek. There's no injury there. Kane captain over Haaland, I don't like it. I have to tell the truth. I don't like it. In order, if you want me to order these players, it's more difficult. I've ticked, so the ones with the blue check mark, the verified ones, they're the ones I like the most. So everyone with a tick, the 4 I like the most. To identify one is very difficult. But I would probably say Webster. If you force me into a corner, say which defender should I bring in this game week, it's Webster. So there we go. Remember to switch back my team. Let's well, this team, I can tell you that, can anyone, like, if you enhance this image enough, you can see my actual team. Can you zoom in? Can you zoom in on YouTube? I don't know if you can. Well, there we go. That's my team. Nick Hall says James to Trippier done. Guaita awards. I play Guaita. And Captain Kane now. I'll just stick with Holland. If you really want to Captain Kane, you can, but you're not going to catch me telling you to do it. I'm not. I can't do it to. I can't do it to you. I can't do it to myself. Start Mitrovic or Pereira. What did I put on the bench list? I put Andreas lower. There you go. Should I start Nico Williams? Probably not. It's probably looking like a one-pointer. Doherty or Perisic? Probably Doherty. Ooh, start Webster or Trippier? I slightly prefer Webster, but there's not much in it. Ramit says, I zoomed in, guys. He's Captain Cancelo. Mutakin says, the worst FPL content creator. Ah, because I didn't show you my team. Is it because I didn't give you a team to copy? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe go try and find an FPL content creator that will show their team. You'll struggle to find one these days without you having to pay them. 6 minutes to deadline. Obviously, even less. It's like 3 minutes to deadline. We're very, very close. Trossard or a Spurs defender? I kind of like Trossard, but like Reece James out is the priority right now. Thoughts on Rodrigo versus Arsenal? Not sure. Not convinced, if I'm honest. If I had him, I'd probably be looking to sell him. How's Foden looking? Looking good. Yeah, he's looking good. Yeah, I think he should be fine for this game week. Obviously, rest next game week and then back again in game week 13, which is exciting. I would try and keep it. If I had him already, I'd be trying to keep him. Nick Howell says, Mitrovic in, or should I play Andreas instead? If you already have Mitrovic, then I would start Mitrovic, just in case, man. Bench James and roll. The problem is with benching James is that he's not even going to be back next game week or the game week after, so benching him doesn't really help. Did you not hear, Dan? Deadline is 2 minutes early today. Is that right? Is that right? I feel like I would have heard that one. Emerson or Trippier? Well, Emerson is... Oh, Emerson Palmieri. Or Trippier. Start Sofal or Andreas? Probably... Maybe Andreas, to be fair. Maybe Andreas. How about Dyer? I don't mind Dyer. I don't mind Dyer as a pick. He's not the worst. He's not the worst. All Chelsea rotation options. Yeah. Yeah, Chelsea is just tragic, isn't it? I'm kind of glad to have removed my final. Reece James for a -4 or Dunk coming in from there. Just play Dunk. Just play Dunk. Why do I feel like Mitro's next start will be a disaster? It could happen. Aha! We've got to show teams. We've got to show team gang. We've got to show team gang. Show team gang. Oh, here. Okay, let me show my team. Right. Right. Hello. Right, let's just get my team on the screen. Can you guys see me okay? Right, there you go. If you zoom in enough, you might be able to see that the transfer this gave me was take out Reece James and I put in Webster. So you can see, you see I put like here, I put him in, and got Holland captain, and I've got Kane vice captain. So the whole team together is Pipe, Webster, Cancelo, Andreas, Madison, Bowen, Martinelli, Zaha, and then we've got up front Kane, Holland captain, Mitrovic, even though he might be injured, Iverson on the bench, Andreas, Mings, second sub, So yeah, that's gonna be my team. That's gonna be my team for the game week. Hopefully that's it. So there you go. You've seen my team. I've shown you my team. I've told you my team. And there we go. There we have it. Everyone in the stream be like zooming in, enhance more. I showed my team. Like I actually deadline's passed, by the way, guys. So happy deadline. I showed my team. I actually did technically show my team this game week. Like I did. So you can't even say I didn't show my team this week. But we are locked in. We're locked in. Everyone excited. Look at people in the chat. Like, oh, this is so cringe. I'm disliking the video. Oh no. What on earth will I do without your approval? Christ. You think you're so funny? Yeah, kinda. I kinda do, yeah. And it seems like a few people in the chat find it funny, at least. I need the Samsung 100 times zoom for this, Dan. I apologise. The comments are scathing. What on earth will we do? Nice sweatpants. Yeah, I wear these way too often. Oh dear. Oh! I guess because I was speaking so quietly as well, you guys probably blasted the volume. Oh, you know what would be a great show team prank? Is if I whisper really, really quietly, so they all put up their volume to max, and then I just scream into the microphone and just go eardrums around the world burst. Does that count as assault? Though, can I get in trouble for that? Maybe. I don't know. There we go. Right. Let's see. You're getting childish with this. Oh, honestly, you're on the wrong channel. If you're expecting us to be sensible and serious all the time, you're just on the wrong YouTube channel. You don't turn up to Coco Melon and say, this is terrible content, it's too childish. Well, at least I wouldn't, because it's just not for me. It's not designed for me. So, look, as long as people keep getting a kick out of the trolls, then I'll keep doing them, to be honest. But I do appreciate it'll probably get old at some point. So it's not going to be forever. Well, police helicopters and that's what this channel's really about. Has he gone mad? What is this? I'm always mad. I make childish content. I don't know if I make childish content, but it's not super serious, is it? Let's have one. Lots of show team gang. Very confused. Very show team now, please. I should have probably prepared this. I don't actually. If I click refresh on this page, then it's not going to work. I'll just show you on my phone. I'm going to take a screenshot as well. Oh, wait. That's... No. I actually genuinely can't show you my team. Because it refreshed. So, yeah. But all right, I'll just tell you. Actually, can I just change it on here and just show you what I actually have put? Yeah, probably. Probably going to let me, isn't it? So, you're going to have to pretend that Reece James is Webster. Basically. And then... So, pretend Reece James is Webster. And then it's that. Yeah, pretty decent. I got to 2.3 million in the bank ready for next game week now, and I've got 2 free transfers for next game week as well. So that's fine. Let's talk FPL and FPL Focal show teams. Don't you? Your 1 million. No, I don't think they do. I don't think they show their teams. Or at least don't they like hide parts of it or something like that. By the way, Let's Talk FPL is also ranked below me now. Andy's had an absolute stinker. Is he on like his 4th or 5th red arrow in a row? It's not ideal. If you show your team, I'm leaving. It's fine. The deadline's passed anyway. Dan, next deadline when the show team gang arrives, show your FIFA team. I've got a better prank on show. Captain says he is delusional that people are still copying his team from last season. No, they really are. People really are copying my team, and they are angry at me, which is more. Wow, the trolls really have arrived. All right, let's. I might have to do some moderating here. Yeah, like people do, like, you know, we're at the start of the season. Obviously, my rank last season has put a lot of faith in me as someone who knows roughly what they're doing, I guess. And yeah, people do want to copy. And part of the reason I don't want people to copy is because I'm having a bad season. Because people are doing it, and they really are doing it. People tell me they're doing it, or people tell me they're trying to do it. And part of the reason I don't, because obviously, certainly the start of the season, it's picking up really well now, but certainly the start of the season, I was doing dreadfully. And I have all of these people basically leaving really nasty comments, you know, some like racist comments as well, like real horrible stuff, like racist stuff, like homophobia for some reason as well. All because I showed my team and they expected better, basically. They thought they would, you know, be ranked 243rd in the world after a few game weeks, which is just an impossible challenge at the best of times. But I was having a bad start anyway, so it wasn't good for anyone. It really wasn't good for anyone to show my team, really. So I mean, it got to a point where we thought we started doing having some fun, and it was people seemed to enjoy it, got a laugh out of it. It's fine. Kieran says that's terrible. Down there, the lowest of the low. Yeah, like this is what I'm saying. Like when people are actually like saying some really, really horrible stuff. Someone says you're not a person of color. Yes, I am. You probably can't tell because of all the lighting. But like I know a few of you guys in the chat have like met me before. I'm a brown young man. I'm 1/4 Nigerian. But yeah, so that's another thing. Like, you know, if people are, you know, saying like horrible things just because they copied your FPL team and you didn't have a good few game weeks, and I'm meant to be sitting here saying, oh yeah, I'll just keep showing my team, to these people who not only are only on my channel just to copy a quick team and bugger off, and when it doesn't go right, they're also going to get really nasty. I owe these people nothing. I really don't. So I'm not going to feel too bad about it, if I'm honest. And people like you guys, like most of you guys, you know the vibe by now, and it's fine. But there we go. You forgot your supporters made you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but my people who just copy my team every game week, the majority of those people aren't supporters. They're people who, you know, they tune in to the last 5 minutes of a deadline stream. That's it. You know. That's it. Like, obviously, I appreciate everyone who watches, but like the real people are people like we actually have some conversations, we have some interactions, and you know, with you guys right now, it's fine. But look, it's part of the pay package. Obviously, like you have to expect to get like a little bit of abuse when, well, no matter what. Like even if things were going right, you know, there still was a lot of abuse last season. But it's part of the pay package. But if you can try and mitigate that a little bit, then why not? Let's have some fun with it. I don't want to show my team, clearly. I made that very clear. I will be happy to give advice, and I will tell you very, very roughly what I'm doing. And to be fair, earlier on in this stream, multiple times I told you exactly what transfers I was making, exactly what I was going to do with my team before we had a bit of trolly fun later on in the stream. So, like, as long as I'm not being dishonest or trying to intentionally sabotage, which is definitely not something I've done. There you go. The Heroic Doses says, keep up the good work. F the trolls. Thank you, man. I do appreciate it. Mike Skinner says, stop mentioning the haters. They thrive off it. Block them and move on. Yeah, I've got quite good at blocking people on Twitter recently. Oh, well. But yeah, let's do what we do best here, I think. What we do best here is we try and give some good FPL advice. Doesn't always work out, obviously, but we try and do our best to give some really good advice and some really good tips and show some stats and kind of explain why different players might be good for different game weeks. And we have some fun as well. We have some laughs. We don't take things too seriously. And that's, I think, what FPL YouTube should be all about. So, love it, guys. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. But yeah, appreciate you guys a lot. Like, I can see a lot of love in the chat, and like, honestly, it goes a long way. It really does go a long way. Mr. Math and Bree says, you're my favourite content creator because of your sense of humour and support of others in the industry. F the trolls, thank you. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for the super chat and for the kind words. It means a lot. It genuinely does. Like, this is why I love YouTube. I really do. I really do. Right. I think we might move over to Twitch. And I'll tell you what, guys. Might even have some stories for you, because a few of you may have seen a couple of nights ago, we had an interesting evening. I can't believe I met John Stones and Alex Iwobi, got a picture of both of them. And then, like, Anthony Gordon was in the room as well. Loads of massive YouTubers. I don't know if you guys watch Love Island, but there was, like, people from, like, Love Island there. Or because I was invited to an event because I make fantasy Premier League videos. It's, like, absolutely mad. Like, you guys are the goats for putting me here. I have to admit. I had an absolutely mad day or evening a couple of nights ago. I met some such lovely people as well. So maybe we'll chat about that over on Twitch. But I need to go and see what Mrs. FPL Mate is up to, because she may need a lift somewhere. So I don't want to promise anything. I'll tweet out, if I'm going live on Twitch, I'll tweet out what I'm up to. Because I've got loads of packs to open, so I do want to go on Twitch at some point this evening. But I'll let you know. If you haven't followed me on Twitch already... oh, that's not right. I don't know what... This is the channel. Twitch.tv/FPL_mate. I'm going to spam it in the chat real quick. Nikyle with the super chat says, I feel sorry for trolls. Psych, just kidding. I kind of feel sorry for him because, like, there must be... They must not have too much going on. But anyway. Do you see Raptor followed by Stormzy? It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. FPL content creators are actually seem to be gaining a little bit of clout somehow. Like, it's mad. It really is mad. Brentford Brighton watch along. I think it's a bit too boring. We will keep. Well, I might stream during that game and kind of watch. I can't decide. But anyway, yeah, I will go on Twitch at some point this evening. I can't tell you when, but I will go on Twitch. So check out the link that I'm continually spamming in the chat. We'll go over there. I'll tweet out. I mean, I think you get notifications anyway, but I'll tweet out when we go live. But yeah, we're going to call it for today. Like the video before you disappear if you want to, or if you don't, then don't. Either way is fine. Make sure you're subscribed on here and over on Twitch as well, if you wouldn't mind. And yeah, let's call it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I think it's been a good stream. I've enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys have as well. Good luck to you, whoever your Reece James replacement is. I hope they smash it, as long as their name is Webster. And I suppose I'll see you later, mates, over on Twitter. More content. Or actually, saying that, there will be lots of content this weekend because Game Week 12 is like very soon. So there'll be content over this weekend as well. There'll be loads. So, yeah. I'll see you later, mates. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, bye.